honest, I hate being one of the talking heads that comes on the camera and just starts spewing stuff that ends up being wrong. Alright, sometimes that gets to me, alright, I'll admit it. I hate those guys, the talking heads. They're on TV, they get paid a lot of money, and they still don't know anything. Alright, I'm casual. I have an excuse to not know anything. But it still bothers me, alright, because this is all for fun, and I also want to get better at what I'm doing. So, yeah, just got lazy and just didn't feel like doing it, to be honest. But I have returned for a review video, which includes the Thanksgiving games and, quite a wild weekend, really. A lot of close games, a lot of exciting games. Unfortunately, the Patriots were on the wrong end of one of those, but without further ado, let's get started. Up first, we have the first Thursday game, the first Thanksgiving game right here. Lions, Bears. It's kind of nice to have the Lions be good, There's so many years they were just bad, and it was the only game on. Well, at the time, obviously there's 3 Thanksgiving games, but it would be the only game on, and they would be playing somebody that would beat them, and they would be awful, and it was tough to watch. So the fact that they're good now, it actually makes it a little bit more exciting. But this one, at first, it seemed like it was going to be an absolute blowout. Lions got a field goal, Laporta touchdown, Jake Bates in a field goal, Jake Bates field goal, 16-0 at the half. So, thought it was going to be a blowout, but too many field goals. And the Bears able to get back into it. Keenan Allen scores 31-yard TD pass from Caleb. 16-7, and then Laporta caught his second touchdown day, so 23-7. Late in the third, felt like this one was done, but Keenan Allen was cooking. He scored early in the fourth, and then DJ Moore had a touchdown as well with 5 minutes left, and we all know, everybody saw it, everybody heard about it. The Bears, at the end of that game, they had 30 seconds. Let's talk about it quick. One timeout, 30 seconds, third down. They're in field goal range, he got sacked, so he kind of fell out of field goal range. You got 30 seconds, third down, one timeout. Seems manageable. For me, I don't know if this is the right one. I feel like Eberflus, he got blamed, and you got to take the timeout at 30 seconds and then run out there, rush the guys out there, and kick a field goal. I don't like that. I don't like when you have to rush the kicker out. So for me, this one was, 30 seconds. It took him forever to line up. I don't know what was going on. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the players kind of did that on purpose just to get the coach fired. I wouldn't. I mean, it was clear he lost the locker room. They have so many issues. And these players, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they did that on purpose. But it took them 20 seconds to get set. Then they finally got set, and they run a play, and then Caleb, if he throws a short pass and it's incomplete, there's 1 or 2 seconds left, he chucks it long because probably thought there wasn't time left. But for me, this was third down. You gotta run some kind of play where all short routes or something. Okay, maybe not all short routes. I don't know plays. I can't tell you what they should have run, but throw something quick. Just get a few yards, get back into field goal range, use the timeout. That's what I would have went for. They ended up not doing that, and then not calling the timeout either, and doing that. They pretty much did in the middle. There's 2 things they could have done, and they did the thing in the middle, and that pretty much cost them the game because they just ran the clock out. But that was awful. I would blame Caleb, but their guys weren't set. Nobody looked like they knew what they were doing, which, that type of thing, that comes down to coaching. So, of course, the coach is going to get the blame because he's been bad. It's no surprise. So, I still think the Bears team, I don't know what happened there, but the coach is an easy scapegoat because he's been a joke all year, pretty much. But, yeah, Caleb Williams, 20 for 39, 256, 3 TDs. Jared Goff, 21 for 34, 221, 2 TDs, so he was solid. Gibbs, fumbled. I guess they just have a tradition of fumbling every Thanksgiving now. But DJ Moore 8 for 97 and a touchdown. Keenan had 5 catches for 73 and a touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown 5 for 73. Tim Patrick 2 for 48. Sam Laporta 3 catches, 6 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's pretty funny. But yeah, the Lions able to get that dub 23-20. They get to 11-1. That's crazy. And the Bears are at 4-8, and they have an interim coach. Up next, we have Giants versus the Cowboys. Another Thanksgiving Day game. It was another one where, well, okay, this one was a bit closer. But the Cowboys get the field goal early. Giants score. Tyrone Tracy's been solid. Cowboys field goal. Pick 6. DeMarvion Overshown. That's a tough one. Which he's been good. But yeah, pick 6. Giants field goal, so 13-10 at half. Cowboys are up. And then Brandon Cooks makes his return. He gets a TD. That's a pretty good catch. Rico Dowdle, he had a solid game. He scores late in the third, so 27-10. Cowboys have a nice solid lead going into the fourth. But Giants are alright. End up getting a field goal. They got it to 14. And, 2 minutes left. Able to score again, and that was it. So they tried to close it at the end, but couldn't get the job done. Cowboys end up getting the win 27-20. They're now 5-7. The Giants are now 2-10, looking for a nice juicy draft pick next year. Definitely getting a QB. But Drew Lock, 21 for 32. No TDs, 1 pick. He did have 4 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Rushing, that's pretty funny, but that was a good run. It was a good run. But yeah, Tyrone Tracy, 32 yards and a touchdown. Also 33 yards receiving on 2 catches. Malik Neighbors, 8 for 69. Theo Johnson, 5 for 54. Cowboys, we had Cooper Rush in this one. Drew Lock versus Cooper Rush on Thanksgiving. You gotta love it. 21 for 36. 195. 1 TD for him. Rico Dowdle, best game of the year probably. 22 carries, 112, 1 TD. So solid work for him. Ezekiel Elliott only had 1 carry. He's washed. Kevontae Turpin. What was it? Didn't he have a pretty good punt return or kick return? I don't know what happened. Oh wait, no. Didn't look like he didn't do much on the punt returns. Never mind. Forget I said that. Must be thinking of another time. But yeah, he did fumble, but they recovered it. So maybe I'm thinking of that. But he had 4 for 53. Tolbert 2 for 41. C.D. Lamb only 2 catches, 39 yards. Luke Schoonmaker, he's been filling in for Ferguson, who's been hurt. But he had 5 catches, 33 yards. So not too bad over there. But yeah, Cowboys get the dub. 5-7, they're still in the playoff hunt, surprisingly, but nice solid win from them. The last Thursday night game, right here, Packers, Dolphins. Man, this was a cold one. The Dolphins are struggling to beat the allegations that they cannot play in cold weather. That's for sure. Packers just pretty much dominated this from start to finish. It was 30-17, but it wasn't as close as the score says. Packers get themselves to 9-3. Dolphins at 5-7. This was a Jaden Reed masterclass. He had the first touchdown of the game. Josh Jacobs ran one in. Dolphins field goal, Jaden Reed touchdown. Packers field goal, 24-3 at the half. Complete domination. Early field goal for the Packers. Dolphins finally score a touchdown at the end of the third. It was Achane. And then they went for 2 to try to keep it a 2-score game, or get it to a 2-score game. But then in the fourth, another Packers field goal, 30-11. Tyreek Hill, garbage time touchdown. I hated that. I was playing against him in a couple leagues, and just a garbage time touchdown. That's just great, man. That's great. But yeah, it ended up being 30-17. Packers dominated. They look good this year. 9-3. Dolphins 5-7, still in the hunt, but it's getting rough out there for them. It's getting rough. Tua 37-46, 365, Bengals 21 for 28, 274, 2 TDs. Josh Jacobs 43 yards and a touchdown. Dolphins didn't have much in the running game. Mostert 19 yards, Achane 14 yards. Achane did catch a touchdown. He had 8 for 56 there. Tyreek was 6 for 83 and a touchdown. Jonnu Smith, big day for him. 10 catches, 113 yards. That's pretty good. Jalen Waddle, 4 for 53. Tucker Kraft was the leader for the Packers. He had 6 for 78. Jacobs had 4 for 74. Watson was 2 for 67. Dontavian Wicks, 4 for 30. Jaden Reed, 3 catches, 24 yards, 2 touchdowns. Good stuff right there. So, yeah. I thought the offense would, show up a little better than it did, and it would be closer. But, yeah, that didn't happen. Packers, solid win. That defense continues to be very solid. The Friday game, nice divisional matchup. Chiefs versus the Raiders. Yes, fortunately this one, I didn't see anything from this one. I did not get to watch any of this. So let's take a look. Chiefs field goal, Raiders field goal. Justin Watson catches one. And there it is, 10-3 at the half, third quarter. Matthew Wright, field goal, another field goal. So 16-3, but Brock Bowers says hello. He had a monster day. I have him on, I think, just one team. He helped me out a lot. Cuts the lead to 6. Trey Tucker, 58-yard bomb from Aiden O'Connell. That was crazy. Got them to lead, but then, of course, Chiefs next drive, they're able to get a field goal and then hold them off. And then I think something weird happened at the end. I forget. What was it? Well, they fumbled. They missed a field goal. And then got it back, and then fumbled. Raiders gonna Raider. Am I right? But yeah, that's tough. So 19-17 was the final. Chiefs are now 11-1. The Raiders are 2-10. Aiden O'Connell 340, 2 TDs. Mahomes had 306 and a touchdown. Pacheco in his return, 44 yards. That's not much. Kareem Hunt didn't do much better. He only had 15. Sincere McCormick, 12 carries, 64 yards. Who is that? Luckily, I didn't have to play Amir Abdullah. I have him in one league on the bench, and he helped me 1 week, but he only had 10 carries, 39 yards. But yeah, Brock Bowers, 10 for 140 and a touchdown. That's crazy. Trey Tucker had that 1 catch, 58 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Myers, 6 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins had 4 for 90. Kelsey was 7 for 68. Noah Gray, 4 for 58. Xavier Worthy, 5 for 54. And Justin Watson, 1 catch, 6 yards, and a touchdown. So, solid win for the Chiefs. They just, once again, they continue to find a way. They continue to play teams that completely choke against them. And I actually, you know what, they win all these close games because this weird stuff happens. Yeah, this weird stuff happens because teams, I mean, you're playing the Chiefs. Like, that's a tough matchup. Like, these guys are, they're good, and they win. So, if you're in a close game with teams that just always find a way, that can creep into the mind a little bit and cause some weird stuff to happen. So, I don't think it's as surprising as it seems. I remember the Patriots kind of being like this. It felt like they kept getting lucky wins. Well, these teams were, mentally pressed when they play the Patriots. So, just weird stuff can happen. Up next, we have the first 1 o'clock game that we review right here. Falcons versus the Chargers. Rough day for the Falcons. Rough day for Kirk Cousins. Bijan Robinson was fine. He had a good start. He scored right away. Chargers field goal. Chargers field goal. Chargers field goal. 9-7 at half. Get to the third quarter. Falcons get a field goal. Younghoe Koo, 41. And then Chargers end up getting a pick 6. Tarheeb Still, 61-yard pick 6 off of Kirk Cousins, who had 4 picks on the day. Rough day for him. They go for 2. They get it to 17-10. Falcons, end of the third, get a field goal, and that ended up being it for the scoring. But yeah, Kirk Cousins, 245, 0 TDs, 4 picks. That's tough. It's tough to win like that. It's almost impossible. Herbert 47, no TDs, no picks. Gus Edwards at 32 yards. Bijan Robinson, he got 102 yards and a touchdown, so a solid day from him. Ray McLeod, 4 catches, 95 yards. Drake London, 9 catches for 86 yards. Bijan had 6 for 33. Mooney had 3 for 20. Ladd McConkey, man, he's crazy. 9 for 117 yards. Another big game from him. Quentin Johnston, 2 catches for 12 yards. Feel bad for that guy. He's really struggled, but he'll be alright. But yeah, 17-13 Chargers get a nice dub. They didn't even play that well. Falcons, rough day from them, that's for sure. But Falcons are 6-6, still in the playoffs, still leading their division. Chargers are now 8-4. Up next is Bengals versus the Steelers. This was a thriller. I mean, the Bengals, their defense is so bad and their offense is so good. Any game they play in is exciting. It's incredible. Which is funny because, their first touchdown was the pick 6. Cam Taylor-Britt, pick 6. First TD of the game. George Pickens scores. Chase Brown scores. Calvin Austin scores. Jamar Chase scores. Najee Harris scores. Boswell field goal. 27-21. Steelers leading at the half. Bengals field goal. Freiermuth touchdown. Peyton Wilson fumble return for a touchdown. T. Higgins touchdown. Boswell field goal. Andre Yoshivas, there we go. He scored late, but they kept it close at the end there. But the fumble return, that hurt because it was really close up until that point. And, they did bounce back and score and keep it at 10, but once that punt return happened, it felt like it was just a little bit out of reach. But yeah, Steelers get the nice win, 44-38. They are 9-3. The Bengals are 4-8. They got a draft for defense in April. But yeah, Joe Burrow, 309 yards, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Russell Wilson, what a day, 29 for 38, 414, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Crazy. Najee had 75 and a touchdown. Chase Brown had 70 and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, 6 catches, 86 yards and a touchdown. T. Higgins, 5 catches, 69 yards and a touchdown. Yoshivas, 3 for 35 and a touchdown. Gesicki had 5 for 53. George Pickens, 3 catches, 74 yards and a touchdown. Pat Freiermuth, 6 catches, 68 yards and a touchdown. Jaylen Warren, 4 catches, 55 yards. Najee Harris, 6 catches, 54 yards. Van Jefferson, 1 catch, 43 yards. Cordero Patterson, he's still at it. 3 catches, 37 yards, so good for him. But yeah, solid win for the Steelers. Bengals, man, they got a draft defense. That's all you can say. They got a draft on the defensive side. Up next, we have Cardinals versus the Vikings. Yeah, right here. Here we go. This was an exciting one as well. A lot of good games this weekend. Chad Ryland field goal. John Parker Romo field goal. Cardinals field goal. Vikings field goal. Cardinals field goal. Cardinals field goal. Marvin Harrison touchdown. 19-6 in the third. Johnny Munt catches one from Darnold. They cut it to 6, so 19-3. Vikings get a field goal in the fourth, 19-16. Cardinals field goal. Aaron Jones with a minute left. Touchdown catch from Darnold after a nice drive. And they held on 23-22. Another crazy good game. Vikings get to 10-2. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. Sam Darnold is the GOAT. No, he's been solid, and they got some nice pieces. They got good defense. Flores doing a really nice job with their defense. They got some nice pieces. O'Connell seems like a good coach. Lots of good stuff going on in Minnesota. Kyler Murray, he had 260, 1 TD, 2 picks. Darnold, 235, 2 TDs, 0 picks. Not much rushing. Aaron Jones at like 22 yards. Cam Akers at 22 yards. Sam Darnold at 22 yards. So, James Conner at 68 yards. Kyler Murray at 48 rushing. Trey McBride, 12 catches for 96. Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown. Michael Wilson, 5 catches, 55 yards. Justin Jefferson, 7 catches, 99 yards. Oh my god, that 1 yard, it almost hurt me. I held on for the win in the league that I have him, but oh man, if he didn't get 100 yards and I lost because of it, I would have been very sad. Jordan Addison, 4 catches for 54, and yeah, Johnny Munt, 2 catches, 22 yards, and a touchdown. Aaron Jones, 3 catches, 6 yards, and a touchdown. So, yeah, he also had a fumble in that one. But I guess he bounced back. I don't know. But yeah, solid win for the Vikings. 23-22, doesn't get much closer than that. That's a good one for sure. Up next is Colts versus the Pats. Unfortunately for this one, they didn't play. The game was canceled last second. They didn't play. What a shame, what a shame. Oh, no, yeah, unfortunately they played. And the Pats played well, and it didn't matter. It did not matter. Gotta give it to the Colts, though. Anthony Richardson, pretty clutch at the end. What they scored on, it was 4th down, right? They scored on 4th down and got the 2-point conversion. That's brutal, but yeah. Joey Sly starts him off with a field goal. Jonathan Taylor, he caught one from AR for a touchdown. Pat's field goal. Richardson runs one in after a drive. Pats drive right back. Austin Hooper scores, so going into half, Pats are up 16-14. Colts field goal. Antonio Gibson, first rushing touchdown of the year. Then they go for 2. They get it. Pats are up 7. End of the game. I gotta double check because I forget which down they scored on. So let's see. Right here. Yeah, 4th and goal at the 3. Yeah, lovely. They scored, and then get the 2-point conversion with Richardson running up the middle. That's rough. That's pretty rough. And then the Pats somehow, move the ball up the field. All of a sudden they have a shot at 68-yard field goal. It's just a bit out of reach. And Joey Sly's field goal, it was flying. And it fell just a bit short. That's tough. That's never been done before. So that didn't expect to go in. But just the fact that they ended up with the chance was pretty crazy. And yeah, Pats lose by 1, 25-24. Colts get to 6-7. The Pats go to 3-10. So yeah, looking at the box score, Anthony Richardson only 100 yards passing, 109. 2 TDs though, 2 picks. Drake May 238, 1 TD, 1 pick. Ramondre Stevens 73 yards rushing. Gibson at 62 and a TD. Drake May actually had 59 yards rushing. He had that big one. He'll just break him sometimes. He scrambles. He's not a designed run guy, but pretty good scrambler, which you have to be in this league. So that makes me a little bit hopeful. Jonathan Taylor 96 yards rushing. Richardson 48 rushing and a TD there. So yeah, Michael Pittman 5 for 42. Alec Pierce 2 for 16 and a touchdown. Jonathan Taylor 1 for 7 and a touchdown receiving. Hunter Henry had 7 for 75. Austin Hooper 4 for 42 and a touchdown. Keyshawn Butte 3 for 41. Bourne was 3 for 39. Stevenson 3 for 21. Demario Douglas 4 for 20. So yeah, that's rough, but at the same time, it's okay that Pat's now 3-10. Draft pick is looking good. And they're able to battle. I feel like a lot of these games, they're able to battle, except when they play Tua. It's not close. But yeah, and they got a lot of cap room next year. Not sure if the coach is the guy yet, but we'll find out next year. We'll worry about that next year. Up next, right here, Seahawks versus the Jets. This is a pretty good one as well. Figured it would be close. Even though the Jets, a little disappointing this year, they can battle. And the Seahawks weren't going to be too tough for them. But the Seahawks got the nice win. They're at 7-5 now. Won this one 26-21. Jets are 3-9 after this. But Devontae Adams, he was the first score. The PAT gets blocked. That's the type of day it was for the Jets. But they score again to get the 2-point conversion. So 14-0 in the first quarter. A.J. Barner, 12-yard catch from Geno Smith. Kine Nwangnu, I don't know. Is the N silent? I don't know. I can't say this guy's name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to learn that one. But yeah, either way. Kene, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm illiterate. 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. So Jets 21-7, they're up in this one. But Leonard Williams, 92-yard pick six. And then that PAT was blocked for the Seahawks. But then they get a field goal, so 16-21 going into the fourth. Seahawks field goal, 19-21. Zach Charbonnet runs one in with 5 minutes left. Should have been Kenneth Walker. I needed Kenneth Walker, but it's okay. I'll get over it. But yeah, Seahawks get the win, 26-21. Geno Smith, 206 yards and a TD. Rodgers, 185, 2 TDs, 1 pick. Brees Hall at 60 yards. Kenneth Walker, 49 yards. Charbonnet, 28 and a touchdown. Man, Braylon Allen, I swear, early in the year he was getting so hyped up by the media, but I was like, he's not really doing much. So it must have been the New York media effect or something, because he just hasn't done that much all year. But yeah, Devontae Adams, 5 catches, 66 yards and a TD. He's on a 3-9 team. What are the Raiders, 2-10? So not a slight improvement for him, but yeah. Garrett Wilson, 5 catches, 41 yards. Conklin, 4 for 32. Isaiah Davis, 3 for 28 and a touchdown. A.J. Barner, 2 for 14 and a touchdown. JSN, 4 for 74. DK, 4 for 66. Noah Fant, 3 for 26. Tyler Lockett, 3 for 16. So yeah, there we go. Nice win for the Seahawks. Anybody that's mid or below, Seahawks are taking them down. That's for sure. Up next we have Commanders versus the Titans. Yes. Easy win for the Commanders, it felt like. They're now 8-5. Titans are 3-9. Scores 42-19. Brian Robinson, 40-yard touchdown run to start the game off. Jaden Daniels, after a nice drive, runs one in. Terry McLaurin, touchdown from Jaden Daniels, so it's 21-0 after the first. Terry McLaurin catches one in the second, 28-0. And finally, Nick Westbrook-Kine, he scores in the second, so 28-7 going into half. Will Levis gets him on the board. Titans field goal. Zach Ertz touchdown. Another Westbrook-Kine touchdown. And then Chris Rodriguez Jr. runs one in. Should have been Brian Robinson Jr. But yeah, 42-19. Commanders just blew them out. This one was never close. But Jaden Daniels, 2 of 6, 3 TDs, 1 pick. Brian Robinson Jr., 103 yards rushing and a touchdown. Chris Rodriguez Jr., 94 yards rushing and a touchdown. Jaden Daniels at 34 yards rushing and a touchdown. Levis, 212 and 2 TDs. Tony Pollard, only 35 yards rushing. Westbrook, 61, 3 catches, 61 yards, 2 TDs, pretty good. Calvin Ridley, 2 catches for 45. Tyler Boyd, 3 catches for 37. McLaurin had 8 for 73, 2 TDs. Zach Ertz, 3 for 35 and a touchdown. De'Ami Brown, 4 for 35. Noah Brown, 3 for 27. So, solid win for the Commanders. Expected them to get that dub easy. Titans they're looking at draft picks, that's for sure. Up next, nice divisional matchup, Jaguars versus the Texans. Interesting stuff happened in this one. You had the Trevor Lawrence. It's tough. It's a slightly late slide. Slightly. But then it's a dirty hit from a dirty player, defended by apparently dirty coach who made him team captain. So, yeah, not feeling good about the Texans. Which is, unfortunate. It just, I don't know. Yeah, that guy, same guy who did they play where he just punched somebody after making a dirty, he's a dirty player. Won't speak his name. But yeah, I think he got suspended for 3 games or whatever, so yeah, but that's the thing, it's just a slightly late slide from Trevor. The flag was fine. I mean, it was a bad hit, but he's got to slide sooner. He's got to slide a little sooner. But yeah, Texans, field goal. Jaguars, field goal. Joe Mixon, TD. Texans, field goal. So 16-6 at the half. I don't even remember when the hit was, but yeah, Mac Jones played most of this one. Unfortunately for the Jaguars. But yeah, in the fourth, Dalton Schultz TD, 23-6. And then a couple garbage time TDs. Parker Washington caught one. Brian Thomas Jr. caught one. And they actually cut it to 23-20 at the end. Yeah, still not enough. Score makes it look a little closer than it was, but yeah. Texans get the dub. They get to 8-5. Jaguars are 2-10. Stroud 242, 1 TD. Trevor, he had 41 yards and a pick before he came out. Mac Jones ended up with 235 and a TD. ETN 46 yards rushing. Bigsby 28. Joe Mixon 101 yards and a touchdown for him. Nico Collins 8 for 119. Schultz 5 for 61 and a touchdown. Tank Dell 1 catch 23 yards. Parker Washington 6 catches 103 yards, touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. 4 catches 76 yards and a touchdown. Evan Ingram 7 catches 41 yards. That's that. So yeah, nice win for the Texans. Jaguars, not sure how long Trevor's going to be out, but might be a little bit. We'll see. Not that it matters. Up next, Saints versus the Rams. Yeah, right here. Rams got the dub, 21-14. They get to 6-6, still in the playoff hunt. Saints fall to 4-8. We start off Saints field goal, 6-0 at the half. Kyron Williams gets a touchdown in the third. They take the lead. Demarcus Robinson, touchdown after a nice drive. They had a big play on that one. And yeah, Taysom Hill got injured for the Saints, so that's tough. But then, so Rams up 14-6. Saints score. MVS gets a touchdown from Carr. And then Rams score again, and that was that. They're able to get some stops at the end. Was it Jared Verse? Strip sack? Yeah, that was pretty good. That's pretty good stuff from the rookie, so nice win for the Rams. Looks like they got a nice defensive stud there. But yeah, 6-6, they're still in the hunt. I still think they're an okay team that could potentially make the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Up next, Panthers, Buccaneers. This was actually a pretty good one. The Panthers played pretty well. Bryce Young was solid. Buccaneers, not too bad themselves, but they got the dub, 6-6 now. Panthers are 3-9, 26-23 victory. OT victory. Had to get a field goal to get it, but how do we get there? Well, Mike Evans, touchdown from Baker. Panthers field goal. Bryce Young ran one in. Buccaneers field goal. Panthers field goal, so 13-10. Panthers at the half. Panthers field goal. Bucky Irving touchdown. Buccaneers field goal. Adam Thielen touchdown. That was with 30 seconds left in the fourth, so they're able to drive, score, take the lead. Buccaneers, all they needed, 36 yards, gets them a 51-yard field goal from McLaughlin. Sends it to OT, and then about 2 minutes left in OT. Another field goal from McLaughlin. He's able to close it out, but hey, Bryce Young looked good. Everybody was saying he was a bust. Oh, the Panthers, they strengthened their O-line. Bryce has no excuse now. The team sucks, like, they're just not that good, so. And he was struggling to start the year, don't get me wrong, but for him to be a bust, it was a little too early for that type of thing, but he did look really bad. So, I can't blame anybody for thinking like that, but yeah, Mayfield, 235, 1 TD, 2 picks. Bryce Young, 1 TD. Hubbard had 43 yards. Bucky Irving, 152 and a touchdown. Rashad White, 76 yards rushing. Mike Evans, 8 for 118 and a touchdown. Shepard had 4 for 42. Bucky Irving, 3 for 33. Adam Thielen, 8 catches, 99 yards and a touchdown, turning back the clock. Tommy Tremble, 5 for 77. Xavier Legette, 4 for 53. David Moore, 5 for 40. Jonathan Brooks, 3 for 23. So, nice win for the Bucs there. Solid stuff. This one right here was a really good one. Eagles versus the Ravens. Two teams who have been very good this year. Eagles able to snag that dub. 24-19. They're 10-2. Ravens are 8-5. How did it happen? Tucker field goal. Mark Andrews touchdown. Tucker missed the extra point there, so 9-0 there. Dallas Goedert touchdown. Jalen Hurts touchdown. Tucker hits a 50-yarder, so 14-12 at the half. Not much goes on in the third in terms of scoring, but Saquon Barkley, nice run in the fourth to extend the lead to 9. And then Eagles kicked another field goal, so 24-12 with a minute left. Ravens able to score at the end in garbage time. But that was it. That was they fell behind there. But the Eagles, man, how did they get Saquon Barkley, man? How did they get him? What did the Giants do, man? What have you done? The Eagles getting Barkley that's like how the Celtics got Porzingis and Drew Holiday combined. That's the Eagles getting Barkley right there. That's just, I can't believe the league let that happen. They got it. Somebody should have stepped in, man. Somebody should have stepped in. The Giants. I hate the Giants. I hate the Giants with a passion. But yeah, Barkley's a freak, and he's on a team with some other freaks, and they just, good defense, good offense, questionable coaching, but seems to be good enough for now. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, nice win for the Eagles. Hurts, he had 118 and a touchdown, 29 yards rushing and a TD. Barkley had 107 and a TD. Lamar, 237, 2 TDs. Derrick Henry, 82 yards rushing. Lamar had 79 rushing. A.J. Brown, 5 for 66. Goddard, 3 for 35 and a touchdown. Zay Flowers, 3 for 74. Mark Andrews, 6 for 67 and a touchdown. Isaiah Likely, 5 for 38 and a touchdown. Derrick Henry, 3 for 29. So, it's alright. Ravens are going to be fine. They're 8-5. Not ideal for them, but Eagles are a good team. No denying that. They've been doing that all year. So, good win for them. That's for sure. We have the Sunday night game, Bills versus the Niners. I don't think this could have went any worse for the Niners here. They got destroyed 35-10, and Christian McCaffrey, he's injured. He's out for the year. That's rough. Josh Allen dominated this one, but yeah, Niners field goal. Ray Davis runs one in for the Bills. Who's Ray Davis? Who? Finally, somebody we know. James Cook, 65-yard touchdown. That was pretty good. Mac Hollins, he scores. So 21-3 at the half. It was over. It was over at this point. Amari Cooper catches a pass from Allen. Kind of gets, stopped, but still on his feet. Josh Allen just happens to be running over there. Pitches it to him. Runs it in. Josh Allen gets credit for a touchdown throw and a touchdown catch. Or not catch. He's not credited with the catch, but he is credited with a receiving touchdown. That's crazy. Isaac Guerrero ran one in for the Niners, and that was their only touchdown. Josh Allen later ran one in, and there it was, 35-10. So, yeah. Purdy, rough game from him. 11 for 18, 94 yards. This was the Snow Bowl, after all. Snow is always tough, but Josh Allen, 148, 2 TDs. James Cook, 107 yards and a TD. Ray Davis, 63 yards and a TD. Josh Allen, 18 rushing and a touchdown. Isaac Guerrero, 19 yards rushing and a touchdown. McCaffrey had 53 yards before he got injured. Jordan Mason, 78. Juwan Jennings, 3 for 56. Deebo Samuel, 4 for 20. Dawson Knox, 2 for 56. Khalil Shakir, 4 for 30. Mac Hollins, 1 for 7 and a touchdown. And then, of course, Josh Allen, receiving touchdown. No receptions, but a receiving touchdown. But yeah, tough one for the Niners. The season seems to be slipping away from them, but so many injuries just makes it really tough. But Bills are 10-2, Niners are 5-7. Time for the Monday night game, Browns-Broncos. This one was wild. How many pick sixes? I mean, you gotta get used to this by now with Jameis Winston. This is just what he does, man. This is what he does. He throws pick sixes. But yeah, 41-32. Broncos get the dub. They're now 8-5. Browns are 3-9. Javonte Williams, he literally showed up, scored a touchdown right away, and then refused to elaborate on that. That was it. But yeah, he scored. And Njoku, he was crazy in this one. Browns field goal. Michael Burton runs one in, fullback. Ran one in on that one. Nick Benito, 71-yard pick six. Broncos go up 21-10. Njoku comes right back, scores, so 21-17 going into the half. Marvin Mims, 93-yard touchdown pass from Bo Nix, puts them up 28-17. Browns say, all right, we have your former player who sucked for you, but he's going to dominate against you. Jerry Jeudy, 70-yard touchdown. He had crazy stats in this one as well. But he scores, so 28-25. They get the two-point conversion. Broncos field goal. Nick Chubb catches a TD pass, puts the Browns up 32-31. 9 minutes left in the fourth. Broncos get a field goal with 3 minutes left. So Browns have a chance. They're down 2. Jameis Winston getting ready for the game-winning drive. Pick six. Jaquan McMillan, 44 yards, runs it back. And that put the lead at 9, and that was pretty much it from that point on. But yeah, Jameis Winston. This is the most Jameis Winston stat line I have ever seen. Like, this perfectly describes Jameis Winston in the NFL. 497 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks, 2 of which were run back for touchdowns. And he had this stat line in a high-scoring game in which his team lost. That's textbook Jameis Winston right there. That's textbook. Bo Nix on the other side, 294, 1 TD. He had 2 picks as well. Jerome Ford, 41 yards rushing. Nick Chubb, 21 yards rushing. McLaughlin. Javonte had 4 carries for 1 yard and a TD. Michael Burton, 1 carry, 1 yard and a TD. McLaughlin, he had 14 carries for 84, so he was kind of the main guy in this one. But Jeudy, 9 catches, 235, 1 TD. Elijah Moore, 8 catches, 111 yards. David Njoku, 9 catches, 52 yards, 2 TDs. Nick Chubb, 2 for 24 and a TD. Marvin Mims had that massive catch, 3 catches, 105 yards and a touchdown. Sutton, 6 catches, 102 yards. So a solid day for him. Troy Franklin, 2 for 28. But yeah, Broncos 8-5, Browns 3-9. So what a game. What a week.